Loving God and loving your neighbour is a package deal. Okay, you can't say, I love you, God, but I refuse to love a certain segment of people. That's not allowed. That's not the deal. You with me? So for us, racism, any kind of xenophobia or hatred of the other is anathema to who we are as Christians. It's fundamental. You know, fighting injustice and prejudice is not a fringe interest for a certain group of weird Christians. It's core business, because we're called to love God and love our neighbour. You've got to take that seriously, haven't you? Love God, love your neighbour, and therefore it is an act of love to make sure, it's an act of love and devotion to God to make sure that everybody gets shown practical love here and now. The two are connected, package deal. Sometimes the church gets that wrong. Sometimes we think the only bit that matters is loving God. Sometimes that works out when we physically are told in a worship service, shut your eyes. I don't know what kind of week you've had, just leave it all behind and focus on God. That's not actually biblical. We're supposed to be open-eyed Christians because we're supposed to see the people around us that God has called us to love. It's both and. Love God, love your neighbour. Some people get all excited about the horizontal stuff and loving their neighbours and caring about justice and not caring about connecting people with God. That's wrong too. I'm a both and kind of guy. Love God and love your neighbour.